Hi all. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the Excel spreadsheet that I've set up called the Financial Formulas. In this video, I'm going to focus on the sheet that you see here, but there's also the briefest outline of the amortization table that's explained in the amortization table video. To look at this table, I'm going to point out this part over here on the top left are a list of variables and values inputted by hand. The last two are divided by n, and n times t actually calculate automatically. So for instance, if I change t here from 11 to 10, you should see n times t change to 40. And if I change n to 12, you should notice both values change based on that new value of n. Again, up in the top left corner, you're going to have the values that you will input, and all of the calculations down here on the bottom part will be based on the values up here. To see how this works, let's look at an example. You're given a problem here, and you're given some information and asked to look for a particular type of thing. So in particular, you're looking for A. You can read through the problem yourself. You're looking for A, and it's a simple interest problem. The values you know are P is 1,000, R is 0.05, and T is 4. Let me click over here real quick. Let me try to make that so you can still see it. I think that also work. Alright, so here, P is 1,000, R is 0.05, T is 4, and this is a simple interest problem. So if I come down here, I should see that A equals $1,200 is the correct value here, and there's a formula set up to automatically calculate that. So the answer here would be $1,200. Alright, and we can see that in the sheet. Looking at another example, in this problem, A is 30,000, R is 0.063, N is 4, and T is 15. Down in the compound interest part of the sheet, I should see here that P for this problem should be 11,746.58. And if you want to verify these with your calculator, you're welcome to. But that's how this sheet is working. To look at the annuities, we're going to put in the appropriate information for an annuity. So for this particular problem, let me show you on the screen, maybe. For this particular problem, you're told the payment amount, you're told R, just inputting this information, or trying to. You're told N, and you're told T. So inputting that information, if I look over in the part of the sheet that deals with the annuities, this is a future value problem, I should see here the future value is $1,079,873.37. Not too bad. Alright, the last problem here. If I wanted to input the information here for the present value, I would put in $350 for the payment, 0.049 for R, N is 12, T is 4. And I'm going to look in the part of the sheet that deals with the present value of an annuity. This question asked for the present value. The amount should be $15,227.97. The sheet will also give you annual percentage yield. The annual percentage yield is only dependent on the interest rate and the number of times you're compounding per year. So if I wanted to see what the annual percentage yield was for a 6% loan compounded 4 times per year, I should see it as 6.136% or so down here in the bottom of the page. You may notice a couple other notes here. If you actually needed to solve for N or R, you cannot do this algebraically by hand. And I have a couple other smaller notes. It is possible to input values into these equations so that T doesn't work out to be possible. It'll give you an error if that's the case. But in general, don't change any of the formulas down in the pink parts. You want to alter the values up here in the gray part, and it should tell you the appropriate values you're looking for. For this to work well for you, you need to be very careful to look for the values you actually need to find, and that's hopefully what you saw going on in this video. Hope that helps. Hi y'all. In this video we're going to look at using goal-seek to calculate certain values. Here we're going to first look at using the goal-seek to calculate an interest rate needed to have an amount grow, or a series of payments grow, a series of $500 payments each month. So here I have N is 12 and payment is $500, into a future value of $500,000 over the course of 30 years. That is, I want to find the value of R that will make that happen. So what that's going to mean for me is that I want to change this value in B4 in such a way that it alters the future value calculated over here. The way I have the sheet set up, this will work fine. This future value right here in F15, if you look at this formula, it's based on this payment of $500 or whatever value is in B9, along with the other variables I have over here. So what I want to change here is I want to change the R value in B4 to alter this future value so that it will be 500,000. The goal-seek functionality is located in different places on different versions of Excel, and this is Excel 2010. It's almost identical to Excel 2007. But up here, I'm going to go over to the data, click that, and click over to what if analysis. You may have to look up goal-seek if you have a different version of Excel. Again, to make this work here, I want to set the value in cell F15 to what I want it to be. I want it to be 500,000. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change the R value here in B4. I want to change the amount in cell B4. And what goal-seek will do is it will try out different values until it works. Effectively, it's using a slightly smarter version of guessing and checking until it finds an R value that will work. You'll notice now the way this is set up, currently the future value is 600,000 based on a rate of 7%. So the rate should actually need to be lower than that. So that's what we're going to see happen here. But let's find the rate that we would have needed to get exactly 500,000. Okay, it'll do that for me. And the rate I would have needed was about 5.98% or so. And it did that work for me. In general, we would need to use goal-seek or some method like that to solve for R in the future or present value, N in the present future value, or the compound interest formula. And those you can't do by hand. Hope this helps.